Hi everyone, this is Liz from Creative Life of Liz, and I am here to do my February reading journal or book bullet journal setup. This is in my Park Lane. No, it's not a Park Lane. It's my journal that I got from Michael's a while back. So for today, I'm going to briefly flip you through where we're at for the start of the year and January, since I know you saw that quite a while ago when it was pretty bare bones, and then I will kind of speed you through my February setup, and then talk you through what's in it. So starting out at the beginning, you remember my cover page if you saw that video, my grid guide. I am making good progress on my pages read. Today I'm filming this on January 25th, so that's the Thursday in week 4 here. So I've been doing pretty well at reading overall. Mondays appear to be rough, relatively speaking. I've managed to be keeping up on my goals so far this year, and I've just been filling them in with little blue dots because I think it looks cute. Buzzword, I did my buzzword challenge for January, making good progress on the Read Around the World-a-thon. And then Pop Sugar, also making good progress there. I just put a little check mark in the monthly color next to the one. I do also track it on Storygraph, so that's an option as well. I don't know if I link my Storygraph down below, but if you want it, let me know, and I can add that down below as well. And then I have done 4 challenges for Romanceopoly, so I did fill in those 4 that I've done so far. There's 3 on this page and then 1 over here. I don't think I even had these set up when I showed you this last. And then lastly, I added the Aldea Adventure for the year as well. So for January, there were 2 options to read physically or read an audiobook. So I chose read physically. And so I'm just going to kind of highlight as I go down through this setup. And then I just mark what I read in the actual monthly pages. So here's my January page. I did fill in which 4 prompts I'm doing. I put in what books I needed to prioritize. I've read the first 2 on this list, and then I need to work on the rest. These are arcs. That's usually what I put on my priority reads, since I do try to get those read before they come out. And then here's my setup for this year for the individual books. I'm just putting the title and the title, author, star rating along the top in my monthly pen color. And then I put the pages. The genre for romance, I do list like a subgenre because I just read so much romance. It's helpful to list a subgenre. And then what kind of format it is, ebook, audiobook, paperback, hardcover, whatever. And then I've just been marking if it is own voices. I just say own voices. I do keep a spreadsheet of all of my reads, which has a lot more detail about each book than this does, but this covers enough for in here. And then if there's reading challenges, I write reading challenges and then write what they are underneath, so that I can mark all of those in. So that's pretty much what it looks like. Very simple, very bare bones. And then I update my personal spreadsheet once a week, so that I know what I've been reading, things like that. So after these 2 pages, if you're curious, pause it so you can see how I felt about my reading, or look at my Goodreads, which I do think is linked below, or my Storygraph, which maybe we'll see. I don't know. And then I did the final book support group. So I just did this little grid setup, and then I just wrote the things underneath it for what I was doing, trying to keep with like the monthly theme in that setup there. And then some more books I read. And then here's even more books I read. And then today, as I mentioned, is the 25th. So I want to leave myself enough space for everything I'm still reading. So I think it's going to be enough space to use these 2 pages for what I'm still reading for this month. And then I'm going to leave 2 pages for me to put my like reading highlights. I want to add that this year to do some like highlights of my favorite books of the month, because I feel like that's something that should go in here, rather than just at the end of the year where I give a summary stats or top 10 or something like that. And then I need 2 pages for the actual statistics, whatever statistics I decide to put in for the month. I don't know what those are going to be. It's not going to be all of the statistics I could possibly pull, but just a subset of them I think will go into here. And then this page is where I'm going to start February. So this is my plan to do my February setup here. For this month, it is Valentine's Day, so I was thinking pink and red, and then it's also Lunar New Year / Chinese New Year, so I was thinking dragons and also red because that's like Lunar New Year color. Turns out I have no dragons in any of my washi tapes, and I know myself well enough to know that I absolutely cannot draw a dragon that actually looks like a dragon. So I'm not even gonna try. So instead I pulled this washi that I do have. This is like Japanese style washi tape. I got it as a gift, but I'm pretty sure it came off of Amazon. But this one is like red with cranes and fans and little flowers. And then this is a very similar pattern, but just in gold and black. And then this one is like this dark red with cranes and little cherry blossoms and stuff on it. So I feel like these 3 washis still kind of give the vibes of the new year, even though there's not any dragons for this year, which is Year of the Dragon. So I'm going to use those 3, and then I wanted to pull some stuff to go with it. So I pulled this Crayola pen. It's literally just called Red. It's like part of the basic color set. And then I pulled this kind of mauve I buy M fine liner. I think this is gonna be my color that I write like the names of the books in and stuff for the month. And I also felt like it went with especially this middle washi tape, and it adds like a little bit of pinky kind of color for Valentine's Day. So I thought that would be fun. So I think my plan is to make stripes with the washi tapes. I'm not exactly sure, but I think that's gonna be my plan with these, and then use these for writing. I plan to participate in, I don't think any monthly readathons, but potentially several week-long or shorter readathons during the month. I do have popped up the X's and O's readathon, which is hosted by Reading with Jess. So I think I'm gonna write that. That's February 1st through the 5th. So I will set up the page for that now, and then everything else I will just talk through what I might be doing, and then hopefully I can put links down below to announcement videos for all of those things. We'll see how that goes. All right, so I'm gonna speed you through some things while I do all this setup, because that's gonna be probably slow and boring, and then we can talk about the few pages that I do get set up once I get there. Okay, here's where we're at with the setup. So I ended up putting strips of washi. It's kind of a lot, but I like it. I think it's cute. So I put this red cranes and fans all the way across the top and the bottom, because I just kind of wanted that vibe. I'm actually gonna trim this right here so that it doesn't connect the two halves. It's not connected up here. Anyway. But I put it across, but there's not enough space for me to put all of them across. So I just put these guys on just this page, and then I put like a February 2024. I did a little bit of bubble-ish writing again, which I did for January already a little bit, but I feel like the vibes are different enough. I'm good with it. And then did February Romanceopoly. I put in my 4 prompts. I left a little space here at the bottom, and if I decide to add a 5th prompt, I could do that. And then my priority reads, I honestly don't know what those are going to be. I can't remember, and I have my laptop right here, but figuring that out feels like way too much work, and it kind of depends on what I end up reading while still in January over here, because there's a couple things that come out in early February. So I'm just gonna leave that, and I will fill those in once I know what they are. Sorry, my phone's going a little crazy. And then I filled in the X's and O's readathon. I did a very similar setup to what I did for the also 3x3 bingo card kind of vibe for final book support group. So readathon, who it's hosted by, and the timeline. I'm gonna be on team O's. I like those prompts better. So I put in the little tic-tac-toe board, bingo board set up here. I didn't bother to use a ruler because honestly, I don't care if the lines are straight. I think it looks cute still. And then I put like the numbers in the corner so that I know which is which. I mentioned that book prompts are 2, 3, 4, and 6, and then the photo prompts are the other ones, just so that I, know what's going on. Technically, 5 is not really a photo prompt, but close enough. And then I just put down here, I'll just mark off what I did, or the book I read. So like pink on the cover, I'll put in a book name. But like when I do practice self-care, like I will probably post the photo on Instagram, but I'll also put in here, like whatever I decide to do, and just note that. So then the rest of this month will be used for like the setup, just like I've been doing in January with individual reads. So that's all I have for today. As always, please like and subscribe below if you haven't already. I really appreciate it. It helps me out. Let me know what readathons you're participating in February, or what books you're most excited about / books you think I should be excited about. I would love to hear about that. I'm always looking for book recommendations. I read quite a bit, in case that's not obvious from my January setup. And then also follow me on Instagram at Creative Life of Liz. You can see in progress and finished spreads in this planner, my other planners, bits and pieces of my life, what I'm reading, all that good stuff. And until next time, bye.